gump goodness. A little bit of gump goodness for you. Here's why there was no Jack Perry talked about, no Luchasaurus talked about. Let's make this very clear. All Out, half the show I didn't care about because of one glaring weakness. And that kind of makes sense to make this video. Guys, I know how excited everybody was in the audience when Luchasaurus appeared. When they had, understand, when Jack came out with that knife on his hip, went to the Bucks. I believe it was, he went to Nick and then tried to lay him out, and then he went to Matt and then laid him out. They both started beating the crap out of him. He's smiling. They showed the vid pack of how Luchasaurus was brought back. It was Jack who did it. And then Luchasaurus jumps into the ring, whoops their ass, takes off the kill switch belt, throws it into the fans, and then they hug, and the fans are going, oh. They ain't going like that. Look, no one's not going to say that was a wonderful moment. But this is what people are not understanding. This is what this comes down to. Was that going to mean anything? No. This is what people do not understand now. They think, oh, Luchasaurus is now back with Jack Perry. Aren't you excited? Isn't this great? No. You know why? One major glaring weakness that AEW has right now compared to 6 years ago when the Jurassic Express was started. Understand, the reason Jurassic Express got over with Marco Stunt, and I did check about the rumors about Marco Stunt now that this happened. Marco is now retired. He does not go in the ring anymore due to health conditions. I understand that he had a very messed up spine. He has a very rare condition that has a very nasty curve in his spine. He was wrestling on borrowed time. And now he's reached the point that he just cannot go constantly in the ring. Now, does that mean he can do a one-off? Maybe. He did one back last year. He went up against Jack Perry as he was TNT champion. Now, does that mean Marco Stunt couldn't jump back in the ring again, maybe do another match? Maybe. He might be able to, counting on the condition of his spine, because he's got a curve in his spine. He doesn't have a straight spine. He has a curve in it, from what I understand. And I don't want to see this man get hurt. And I'm sure he doesn't. So the most he would be, if he came back, would be a manager that maybe would do a one-off or two-off match once in a very, very long while, as long as it's not dangerous for his spine. But here's what people do not want to hear. 6 years ago, when Marco Stunt, Jack Perry as Jungle Boy only, and Luchasaurus were all together in Jurassic Express, there was a different dynamic then. It wasn't because Jack Perry wasn't a heel and had a problem with any type of CM Punk. It's not that Marco Stunt basically was released from the company and then he did whatever he did. And Luchasaurus became part of the patriarchy and he became Kill Switch. No. That's not the problem. The booking is. Remember, who was one of the people who was booking back then 6 years ago? Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Bucks. No Tony Khan. Let me repeat that. Tony wasn't the one directly booking. He influenced the bookings. Yes, if he wanted something, either Cody or the Bucks or even Kenny would adjust the booking to make it look good to the best of their ability. Now, I gotta say this. When it came to the women, the booking was never good, and it's still not good. But for the men, when it came to tag team wrestling, the booking was the most important thing to the company because they premised the company on tag team wrestling. Now, that's not it anymore. At this point, you can't tell me that people who came from other companies, WWE or TNA, have not been the ones that have been the most important. Look at, and this is the most important one, not Edge, Adam Copeland, not just Bobby Lashley, the first true person who came into that company that was over like fucking stink, even though people didn't give two damn flips when he came in and he was announced, Christian Cage. Who's Your Daddy became a big shit because of Christian Cage. The Asshole became a big shit because of Christian Cage. He's more over than Adam Copeland is at this point. And you can't say Adam isn't still loved as the former Edge. Or even Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Syndicate. But he is the most over former WWE and TNA wrestler that is in that company. And yes, you got people from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yes, you're going to have people from CMLL. You're going to have people that is possibly from NWA. Look what happened with Ricky Starks. He was over, and he was a former NWA TV champion. Anyone that comes from a different company, comes into that place, gets over because they've been developed somewhere else, and they understand how to make things important. Look at Billy Gunn with the Acclaimed. And I didn't say anything about the Acclaim when it came to Bowen. And I didn't want to say anything about either one of them. Max and I didn't want to say Anthony either. I didn't want to say anything. You know why? Because guess what? They tried working with them separately and it didn't work. And now they're teasing with Jerry Lynn to stick them back together. You know why? Because they got nothing for them. The pride of pro wrestling and the I can't remember, the greatest wrestler alive didn't do a damn thing. Now they decide to stick them back together. You know why? There's only one thing that AEW now has. Nostalgia. It's not about trying to make great stories or having incredible wrestling. Now at this point, with so many people they've had, either from WWE or TNA, and now their own original roster, they're going to do nostalgia now. That is the reason why Jack Perry and Luchasaurus are going to be there. That's why there's a good chance Michael Stunt will come back. He just won't wrestle. Because like I said, he has a condition with his spine. It is curved. He can't generally wrestle anymore. He was on borrowed time as it was. So, do I believe they're going to make them look great at first? Hell yeah, they will. But when the time comes, you're going to notice tag team wrestling is not the focus of the company anymore. And clearly, they're not going to be there for very long. Not that they're going to quit. It's just they're not going to be the most important people anymore because Tony's going to move away from them very quickly. But this is just me. Hope you enjoyed this Gump Goodness. Give me a comment below. I'm considering what the next Gump Goodnesses will be. I haven't done them yet. When I make this, it's just going to go straight online. And after I edit it, I don't know. Peace.